Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimesh Radia, and I'm your host. I always love starting every episode by saying thank you. I feel so blessed with this podcast, the people it's reaching, the impact it's having. When I started it, my objective was really to simplify spirituality and guide people on their journey. And with the messages I'm getting on a weekly basis, it really does prove that this podcast is reaching new people every week, especially when they need it most. So thank you if you're a regular listener. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the messages. And if you're a first-time listener, welcome. Thank you for joining. And I'm excited to have you here. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator, as well as a spiritual coach and mentor. What I get to do is to hold people's space and guide them through a shift to truly understand who you are. I feel like we're all going through some kind of shift, and I guide people to remove the layers of programming, all the expectations of others, to truly connect and become themselves. And I love doing it. So thank you for everyone that allows me to do that. If my voice resonates, please reach out. You can book a free discovery call. So on this podcast, I get to interview some amazing guests, and sometimes I have the guest spark. And today's a very special episode. I have my nephew Kai with me today. Kai appeared on a podcast, actually episode 130, so that's crazy, right? In April of 2024. And that episode was really all about spirituality from a child's perspective. And Kai, since he's recorded that podcast, really wanted to come on again and continue that conversation. So I'm excited to have my nephew here sitting next to me on the same screen, literally using the same microphone to have this conversation. Kai, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kai, and I'm going into high school, and I'm very happy to be on this podcast today.
Beautiful. So Kai's just turned 11, and in the UK that means that going into high school, and yeah, like I said, it's been over a year. So just thought having back on, he has been my nephew. I guess he's had some spiritual experience that we wanted to share. So Kai, why don't we start with just telling us how you felt after recording the first one?
After recording the first one, I felt more energy to record another one to carry on talking about my experiences. And then, I just wanted to record another one and continue.
And how supported do you feel? We'll go into some of the details, but spiritually, do you feel you're being held? Do you feel you're being supported? What's your experience like?
I feel like I'm being supported by the angels, and like they're always watching over me when I need them to.
So, recording this episode was kind of was accelerated based on a recent bereavement. So, my brother-in-law, Shashi, passed away in February of this year, and Kai's had quite a few connections with him since his past, and that's kind of where we started the conversation around connecting with people who've left this realm. So let's start there, Kai. So just so everyone knows, Kai calls him Shashi Nana. Nana is a name that we give to a grandparent. So a grandparent from his mother's side. So that's Nana. So it's not his granddad, but it's it's like he saw him as a granddad. So again, that's why he calls him Shashi Nana. So Kai, if we start there, when Shashi Nana passed away, how did you feel?
I felt sad, and I didn't feel that sad because I knew he was gonna be around me and talk to me, and just.
So talk to us about some of the experiences and connections you've had with him since he's passed.
So I've been talking to him about how how I'm 11 and how am I going into high school and stuff. And I had this other connection where in my, I think it was in my dream. No, I think it was in, I don't know. It was in,
Doesn't matter where have you felt it? Where did you feel it?
felt it in, so I was probably sitting down somewhere in the Monday, probably, and I was thinking about Shashinana, and then he he appeared and said hello and stuff, and then he he started saying like, how are you feeling and stuff? Are you feeling okay? I said yes, and then I said I'm going into high school and I'm getting like a bit worried. Because then he started saying like I used to get told off in school for being like not really listening to the teacher and just messing around really. And then he said it if you mess around more, then it can get into bad, like you can get really bad, you can get in a bad situation at high school, and I really don't want that to happen. So yeah, I listened to Shushinana.
Okay. And did he give you any messages about other people?
He did say to take care of Duxbury. Yeah, just take care of her.
Okay. And I remember you talking about being at his funeral and kind of what you
Oh yeah,
felt.
I felt he was just standing somewhere in that room,
Okay.
and then later on that night, I had a dream where we were singing bhajans for him, and then he was standing there staring at me and singing at me, and then I started singing back.
Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. And it's really interesting, right? How grief, how grief it impacts kids, right? It's we talk a lot about handling grief and how everybody handles grief differently. In many ways, kids are more open to experiences, and yeah, I think it's really cool. So I thought it'd be a nice way to start to talk about his experience. And yeah, so in the first episode, partly what inspired that episode was I Kai was talking about connecting with his angels and his guides, and we were just sitting in the lounge, and I just said to him, I was like, well, do you want me to call in your guides, your angels, and you want to feel them? And he kind of apprehensively agreed. But then as I called them in, there was a loud noise from the kitchen. And, you know, for me, that was a clear sign that his guides were there. But obviously he was 9 at the time. So that scared him. That was he was a little bit apprehensive. And then we talked about it, and, we talked about how that's a sign that he's being washed over. And after a while, he calmed down. But Kai, talk to us how you've been about talking to angels and how you feel supported by them since then.
Yeah, um, I've really been calling them in when I haven't been like I haven't been that good. I asked
When
them.
you say that good, you mean you've been feeling anxious, tired? What do you
I
mean?
think anxious and like achy, like yeah. And I normally ask them to heal me. I feel better, and I feel better a lot after.
So, can you give me an example? I think you were talking about either your coach journey or wherever,
Oh yeah.
whatever example you want to give.
So, uh, so I started carrying angels on journeys. Like I went on a coach journey to London here, and then I started carrying in my angels, and then I didn't feel ill or like I didn't feel like anxious or something. And if I go on coaches, I normally do because I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, and what he's saying is normally when he travels, especially on coaches, because I took a coach here to London, he has that feeling of anxiety, and he now carries angels with him. So, do you remember that first time when you were here, Kai, and you were struggling to sleep, and I gave you the little crystal angel?
Yeah.
I think it was rose quartz, and I just asked you to, just call on your angels whenever you're struggling to sleep or whenever you feel anxious, and I gave you that actual angel to hold. How was that experience?
I felt like the energy was like really good around me, and then later on that, I started feeling much better.
Beautiful. So while you were here on this trip, I called in your guides again, right? We did a little process where I called in your guides and we had a conversation. You felt the energy around you. Tell us a bit more about that experience.
So I remember, I felt loads of energy in a circle around me. They weren't moving, but the energy was just right there. Then, I think then I just felt the energy from. I know who it was because it just I just saw them because it was Shashi Nana, an angel, and then uh um there was two other people. I forgot who they were.
It's okay. How did it make you feel?
That made me feel much better, and
Okay.
I felt much happier.
Yeah, you felt, I remember you talking about it at the time, and you felt so much love around you, right? You felt warmth. And I remember I called in my dad, your granddad.
Oh yeah, he was there as well.
And I remember you telling me how you felt hot all over. And can you tell us how that feeling was?
So I saw him, and then just like in my whole body, there was just like it just felt hot for some reason.
Nice. So, how often do you feel angels around you?
Really, when I need them, I sometimes they're just watching over me to make sure I'm okay. Sometimes.
Nice. So yesterday was in the calendar. It's the Hindu festival called Jamnashtami, and it signifies Krishna's birthday. So Krishna is one of our gods. And honestly, the temple we went to was really crazy. It took us ages, even though we went late at night. Queued up for like 2 hours, but in that whole experience, going to the temple, and how did you feel?
Um. So when the thingy opened, the blinds, I felt like glory. I felt loads of energy, and I just yeah.
Good. So when you come here, when you visit here, and typically, just so everyone knows, when it's school holidays in the UK, Kai comes probably twice. He likes coming straight after his birthday. It's funny, we also once earlier. So, how do you feel when you come here? Because I've done a lot of healing here. I've done a lot of.
Yeah, I think that's why I want to come here. Because there's at home there's some energy I feel, but here I can just feel wherever I walk. There's so much energy I can just feel.
Nice, nice. And Dakshanani's, which is my sister's place. I remember you telling me there because, again, just to remind you, Dakshanani is my brother-in-law's. That's my sister. So that's the sister whose brother-in-law whose husband passed away. Even I could lose my words. And you feel special. You feel his connection even deeper there.
Yeah.
So can you?
I like well, I just normally look at the picture and normally like talk to him, even though like when I'm bored, I'll probably go to the bundle and start talking when I'm bored.
Yeah. So in my sister's house, she has a temple, and in there she's got a big picture of him. And I noticed Kai was sitting there yesterday talking to him. So you feel so much closer.
Yeah, so much.
And last time you came, my sister was us trying to convince him to stay there for one night. What was your condition to her?
I wasn't feeling right. I was like, anxious, and then yeah, and then
But what did you ask her for? Do you remember? There was one condition for you staying.
oh yeah, have a picture of sitting on her.
Yeah, so he basically said to my sister, "I'll only stay if you give me a picture of my brother-in-law, so he can remember him and have a conversation with him wherever he goes." Which I think is really cool, and it's really interesting, kind of like I said, how losing a loved one can impact a child. And I remember my niece's kids, who are his daughter's kids, and just I remember that the grandson kind of just looking up. He keeps looking up, and I really wonder. He's too young to have that conversation, but I really wonder what he sees. Um, just he'll still make sure he does the same thing. There's a bell in the house, and he feels connected to that. But yeah, it's interesting seeing grief through a kid's eyes. So I thought that'd be interesting. So again, normally on this podcast it's all channeled, but Kai actually has listed a list of experiences that he wanted to talk about. So I'm making sure that he gets an opportunity to talk about all those experiences. So you had a dream about me.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the dream was?
So I was having a dream where you were talking to God, and like the God was agreeing, and then the angels came in, and they started agreeing. I didn't know what they were talking about, and then they started agreeing to stuff, and then they just went. And then I was thinking they were like just talking about something, but I don't fully know. I just didn't want to ruin the conversation.
Okay. How did it make you feel watching a conversation with me talking to?
I feel like happy that you're talking to God and the angels and stuff.
Okay. So you talk to my mum and dad quite often, right?
Yeah.
So your grandparents. And just so everyone knows, it's been 31 years since dad passed away, and 15 plus years since mum passed away. So Kai's obviously never met them. So how do you feel about talking to my parents, your mum's parents? Bear in mind you've never actually met them.
I mean, I feel much better because I've been talking to them and saw their face and stuff. But I haven't met them in real life. But I think that's real life talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do they make you feel? How do you feel inside when you talk to them?
They make me feel. Sometimes they're funny and they make me laugh, and sometimes they're like funny as well, like funny and happy. Yeah.
Do you talk to your friends about any of this stuff?
No, I just want to keep it in the family.
Okay, I understand that. And just so everyone knows, his mum is sitting right opposite us, so she's listening to the conversation, and she will be on this podcast soon. Just a little nudge. So you'll get a perspective from a mum on how it's like raising a spiritual child. I feel all kids. I feel we're all spiritual, so just different. Kids have different experiences depending on the parents too, right? And I've had a lot of conversations recently where the spiritual aspects of kids, spiritual aspects of when we were a kid, that we felt connected, but something happened and you block it off, right? Because it's scary unless you've got a safe space to talk about it. So allowing kids to talk about what they're experiencing and a safe space to do it, I feel like they're so much more open to magic. They're so much more open to connecting to people and things around them. So, if you listen to this, I'm sure you're a conscious parent. Make sure that your kids have a safe space to really speak, share their experiences, encourage them to talk about their dreams. Because I really do feel that the veil of amnesia for kids is so much thinner because they don't have the programming that blocks some of the creativity. So Kai, one of the other conversations we were having the other day about just looking in the clouds, seeing angels in the clouds. Tell me what that feels like.
It makes me feel like happy that I'm seeing them. Because when I see angels, I feel much happy. Because then, yeah, they just make me happy when I'm sad.
Yeah, you mentioned in your notes that you were leaving your uncle's recently, and you saw angels, and it impacted your whole day. What happened that day?
I was walking out the house, then I saw wings in the sky. I told Mom, and then I didn't see the whole body, but I saw the wings. And yeah, it was just in one place, and yeah.
Beautiful. So so everyone knows, in my lounge I have a sketch that was drawn by Stacey when she connected to my dad's energy, and it's like angel wings, right? It's super magical, and I recognized when she painted that, when I did some work on it, that my dad's energy is very different on the other side, so it helps me to connect. When you see that angel picture in the lounge, how does it make you feel?
It just makes me feel that I'm safe, and I'm safe, and yeah, I'm just safe.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get hurt.
And what would you advise other kids or other parents to help them to connect with their angels?
I think it will appear out of your dream, or either you can ask them. Yeah.
Okay. But would you encourage people to carry crystal angels, or
Yeah, I
what would
think
you?
you should carry crystal angels. If you're like uneasy somewhere, and you just feel the energy, you can, yeah, just carry something that's, you don't have to carry a crystal, something that makes you happy, and something that can, yeah, something that makes you happy and laugh, and yeah.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows, I've given Kai a few small angels, and he just carries different ones based on which one he wants to carry. And it's that if he's going through something, he can hold on to that angel, and it's a way just to feel protected, feel safe. I've called in different gods for him at different times. So, for example, if he's struggling sleeping, he knows he can call on either Ganesh or Hanuman, which are both Hindu gods, to kind of just help him feel protected and connected. And because again, I feel like kids have so many vivid dreams, and sometimes just not understanding them is scary, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a scary dream or something that made
uh
you feel uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable. uh I think it was a few months ago where I had a dream. I haven't told Mum yet, but uh I had a dream where I hurt myself, not, and then really badly. Then it started getting like it started getting bad, and then I started getting in the ambulance, and then yeah, and then
And then what happened? You woke up?
no, I mean I did wake up, but then that was really it. I went in the ambulance then. I think and then I went into the something. I went into this room with loads of wires, and they were attaching loads of stuff to me, and I didn't know. I I I wanted mum near me, but I didn't see it anywhere. So yeah, then
And you got through that dream, though, right? So when you woke up,
I woke up, and then I just I went to go play with my friends. Then I've just really forgot about it
okay,
since then.
okay. Just a reminder, you call on your angels, but I guess
Yeah.
that day you were probably busy and you got up, you wanted to play. It's all good. So tell me about the impact the full moon has on you.
The full moon, it just gives me like normally it gives me like high energy in my stomach or either my throat. But if it's like half moon,
Hmm.
I feel much better because that's not when the high energy comes.
Okay, but does it affect your sleep?
Uh, yes, if my stomach's really hurting. I mean, if it's a bit hurting, then I try to sleep.
Okay, I remember talking to your mum normally when it's full moon, and it normally coincides with you having difficulty sleeping. So I guess for everyone that's listening, just also be aware the moon cycle may affect your kids, right? Um, just it's always good to know. I mean, I love the full moon for anyone that regularly listens. But yeah, it affects my sleep, so it's always good. You don't want to manifest it, but it's kind of good to just be aware. If every few weeks your kids struggle to sleep, then maybe it's because of the full moon. And is there much you can do about it? You can talk to your child. You can have a conversation. Awareness helps. Kind of helps you prepare too, right? So, but I do notice that Kai's dreams are more vivid. I got a more message from his mum Resh during that time. So, and when his mum comes on, she can talk much more about that. So moving on. Um, One of the things that Resh does for me is she supports this podcast and she'll listen to the podcast. She'll create the clips that I use on social media. Um, in full disclosure, we use an app called Opus Clips. But for me, it's much easier and much better for her to listen to the clips and pick the ones that she feels are most impactful. And so that means that while she's listening to some of these clips, a lot of the time Kai might be there. So he's listening in and he's listening to the podcast. How does it make you feel just listening to some of those conversations?
Um, some if it's like I mean, because she does it on the speaker, so I can hear it.
Hmm.
And I mean, if it's like talking, I mean, I don't really listen. But then there was once where this singing one, I forgot.
It's her name's Rachel.
Oh yeah, the opera one. I just carried on singing after. I felt just felt the energy from it. It was just really good.
I love it. I love it. I think that episode's 279 if you want to go back. But yeah, it was it was with Rachel, who used to be an opera singer, and she did a process within there where she used her voice to heal. And Kai was listening to that episode, and afterwards he just carried on kind of making a similar sound. So, and he loved it. Resh was telling me how much he loved it. So yeah, I think that's really, really cool. So just a smaller example. Well, so while Kai is here, we love kind of playing games and board games and things like that. And he we were we were playing a game. What was it? Sounds fishy. I think it's
Sounds
good.
fishy. You have one blue fish, and then the rest are red, and then there's a question and then an answer on the back, and then you need to read it out to the people that are playing. Then if you have the blue fish, you tell the truth, and if you have a redfishy told a lie. And then the person having the question needs to guess who's telling the truth. Yeah, and then I was telling the question. Then I asked my angels for the answer, and it was this mama that was the bluefish. And then I just felt energy for the bluefish, and then I got it right.
So yeah, basically it's a game where one person has to read a question out on the front of the card. On the back of the card, it actually displays the answer. Whoever has the bluefish out of the contestants, is the one that's supposed to answer correctly. Everyone else is supposed to just make something up similar. But and so yeah, there was 5 of us playing, and yeah, he just closed his eyes and he said, "Okay," to his angels, tell me who's got the right answer," and they came back with me. So yeah, that was it's a simple thing that if you want to encourage your kids to just connect, is if you're playing a game, just get them to close their eyes and ask, how do you feel? What do you feel is the right thing? And just getting them used to connecting inside, I feel like is a really powerful thing to do. And yeah, I guess just to summarize, actually, I'm going to give Resh an opportunity. She's not going to be on camera, but to see if there's anything that she wants to say, just about her experience, and anything she wants to share that maybe from a deeper perspective. If you're watching on YouTube, you won't see her on camera, but you'll hear her voice. So
I just really wanted to share that Kai talks about his experiences a lot. He spots feathers everywhere, magic numbers, always talks about magic numbers, and always, even when he's feeling uneasy, it's like, "Mum, can you call in my angels?" Or he'll speak to his uncle. Yeah, he's very spiritual. I mean, the other day we had a stranger on the train telling me your son's very spiritual, which, yeah, so we can definitely feel his spirituality and his energy from it, and others can too. But also, I just wanted to remind Kai, he wanted to talk about an experience that happened yesterday on the way home, where he called in his angels.
Oh,
Kai, do you remember?
so there was this tunnel coming out the Monday, and so there was a car coming, but he thought to go, so he brakes, and then the other car behind him. Shortly after, he just bumped into. It sounded loud, but there was not that much scratches. Then that was my first time really.
So let me just explain that. So we were leaving the temple, and on the main road exiting the temple is quite busy. So I was trying to find a gap, and yeah, the gap was big enough, so I stopped. The car behind me then didn't brake and rear-ended me. So yeah, there was a loud kind of crash. So this was Kai's first experience of that sort of thing. Yeah, take it from here, Kai.
Then when his mum went out to just go check, I just said to Mum, "I'm panicking. Could you call in the angels?" And then before she even called in the angels, I felt a bit better. I just felt better, and then
I think because you were calling them in yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's a good thing to just to guide our kids to do, right? Is to know that if they're feeling uncomfortable, that they can call in energies and vibrations, and if they trust it, maybe they start to build a deeper feeling. I really feel that what we've agreed to do as adults is heal a lot of personal and ancestral karma, probably much deeper than previous generations, because we want the next generation to focus on raising the consciousness of the planet and not have ancestral karma to deal with. So I feel like there's so many reasons why we're going through a deeper experience in this lifetime. One, if you're a regular listener, the planet is going through such a shift from divine masculine to divine feminine. It's really causing lots of deep cycles to be closed, lots of deep experiences, I feel like we're closing cycles so quickly, we're closing things out that would have previously taken us maybe a lifetime, maybe in 6 months. So things are accelerating. But I also feel that because the planet's going through a shift, the next generation is meant to really focus on raising the consciousness and creating a new way of being. And I feel like we have a responsibility to clear the ancestral karmas they don't need to, but also as much as possible to create an environment where kids can be open, where kids can share. And obviously, with what I do, I encourage anyone in my life to be open to magic, whatever that looks like. I'm blessed to have 10 nephews, 3 nieces, and actually now 3, well, 2 grandnephews, one grandniece. Yeah, you know, they call me Nana. It's kind of weird, but anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But I feel like we have this opportunity to just to allow magic to happen, and maybe we try and ensure that we limit the programming as much as possible. Maybe a good question to ask all listeners, if you are a parent, is to ask you, how are you parenting your kids? Are you parenting your kids how you were raised? Are you doing the opposite to the way you were raised? Maybe you didn't have a good child and you're trying to do the exact opposite. Or are you raising your kids how you want to be raised? Because again, sometimes we're not even aware that we're living a programmed behavior, right? So maybe if you take anything from this, is just to take a step back and just ask yourself that question. How consciously am I raising my kids? And there's no right or wrong here. Everybody has an opinion on how to raise kids, and all of them are unique. So there's no right or wrong. Maybe it's a good question to ask yourself. So Kai, as we close out this episode, do you have any messages for the listeners? Anything you want to share?
No.
So if there are any kids listening, what would you tell them? Anything that's coming to heart?
Probably no.
Pick a crystal, maybe.
Yeah, pick a crystal that you feel the energy to, because then you can bring it wherever you want. Yeah.
So maybe you tell them, how do you call in your angels? What do you feel? What do you say?
I think going to a place you feel the good energy, anywhere really, then you can call in the angels, and they might not answer you. They might do a sound to answer you,
or a feeling, right?
Yeah, or a feeling. It's normally a feeling, not really answering, but yeah.
Yeah, last time there was a sound, it scared you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so if you do want to, Kai has his own YouTube channel. Kai, do you want to tell us about your YouTube channel?
It's Kai the Gamer 2024.
So it's Kai the Gamer 2024. I will include the link in my show notes. What's it about, Kai?
It's really doing some crazy videos with my friends, and yeah.
Okay, so and Kai's really good on his videos, much better than me on reminding people to like, follow, and comment. So would you like people to follow you on your YouTube channel, Kai?
Yes, please.
So please do follow Kai on his YouTube channel. Yeah, it's really interesting seeing an 11-year-old you having a YouTube channel, and when he's speaking on them, a lot of times he doesn't put speaking ones anymore. But when he's speaking on them, he'll always remember to just remind you to follow him, like, comment, and it's kind of natural. So it's like, for me, I'm proud of him, right? As his uncle, how comfortable he is talking on camera. Yeah, and actually, He wants to. Yeah, so the setup I have in the lounge is I have a microphone on a stand and all this sort of stuff. So he wants to have a similar setup so he can be on screen much more, right, Guy?
Yeah. But now I've thought about it, I'm not really gonna get anything like that no more.
So what are you going to get?
I'm saving up for an iPhone mini. There's a mini. It's a similar size to an iPhone, but yeah.
And that's because it's got a better camera and stuff, so you can record
my
better.
camera's not. Then I can record. Then I think iPhones are better.
Okay,
'Cause,
there you go, advertising for iPhone. I've got an iPhone, but so he's I guess my point was he wants to kind of use whatever presents he buys to be more seen. And as adults, some of us struggle to be seen. So if we can encourage our kids, obviously you don't all have to have a YouTube channel, but to speak more freely, to share more freely, maybe we're preparing them for the future. Think about what you struggle with today in terms of being seen, being heard, and maybe consider what you can do differently. So, Kai, thank you for being on this podcast. Resh, thank you for listening in and adding your support. Looking forward to you being on soon, Resh. But yeah, let me know what you felt about this episode. Obviously, very different to many others. For me, Kai's being very brave. Wanting to be on, this was his idea. Actually, the first time he was on, when he was only 9, he saw my microphone in the kitchen where I normally record, and he sent me a little video with him pretending to be on the podcast, and that's kind of where the conversation started. So he's manifested this. This is something he's wanted, and I've just encouraged him based on how I felt. So thank you for listening, and like I said, if you have any feedback, if you have anything that you want Kai to answer in a future episode, let me know. And I'm sure there's many of you that are raising very, very spiritual children. Always remember that your kids picked you, and they picked you for a reason. So be proud of what you've done. You're doing the best that you can, and this is really an important time in the planet's evolution, where we've been pushed, we've been expanded, and I'm sure the kids are included in that journey. Sending everyone so much love and light. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon. Bye for now. Can I say bye, Kai?
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.